This is what my hair looked like before, and unfortunately we have to cut it, so I'm making a video about it. Oh god.
Rest in peace, hair.
So I got the setting correct, and I decided to go straight at it by cutting and lowering down some of the sides of my hair. But I realized shortly after that the setting wasn't high enough, and I was basically cutting nothing, as you can see right here. Unfortunately, I didn't realize it was the wrong setting for a good while, so I kept going at it thinking bits of hair were coming off when they weren't. This was only supposed to be when there was a massive chunk of hair going off, but I obviously had the wrong setting on, and I thought I had it right. So when I did realize, I changed it just a bit, and I changed the mirror over so I could get a better angle, so I put the better setting on it, and as you can see it's a little better. There's more bits of hair just flying off, as you can see there, and I decided to go for the top of my head because there is a massive cow's lick up there trying to get it off, and as you can see it's falling right there. So I tried to even it down, but obviously I'm not an experienced barber, so I did the best I could. So I continued to work on the sides, kept going at it until I realized once again that we're at the limit. We have to change the setting to make it tighter on the cut. So I did exactly that after blowing out the hair. So when I changed the setting, I could already tell that more hair was coming off. I can hear a sound. Hair was coming off, so I was doing something right. So I decided to go for the back, and it's kind of getting less hairy. So I used the bald spots as reference and tried to cut the hair around that to make it even, and obviously that wasn't working. So I decided to change it up even more. I changed the setting of the razor again, except this time it's really tight. So I was actually given kind of a skin cut to myself. I was making it getting rid of all the hair there instead of cutting it down. So I wanted to do that all around to try and give a skin fade texture without the fade, obviously, because I'm nowhere near experienced for that. So I worked on the back and I was kind of evening it out, and we were all going fine. And obviously that looks trash, but it worked out alright in the end. But then I had an absolutely genius idea. You know what I'm like. Went upstairs and decided to come down and use a prop, something that would help me cut my hair easier. I came down in a cap, so I'd be using the border of that cap to cut it to be easier. I was going to try and give myself sort of a bowl cut, in the way that it wouldn't look like a bowl cut, but it would be the cut in the same way as one. And that strategy actually worked for a while until I took off the cap and decided to use my hand for some reason, because I thought that would work even better. But it didn't, and you can see what's happening right now. It wasn't even, because my fingers aren't even. So I just stopped using the hand technique after a while, and just went back to basics. So now you can see what it looked like on the back. It was extremely uneven, nothing was right, all the hair was sticking out, it was looking terrible, so I had to do something about that. So I went back to evening it up, and sheesh, what is that? It looks like the steps you'd find in your house. Oh my god, I knew I had to do something about that quick, or else it wasn't going to turn out well. So I just kept going, went for the sides first because that was easier to do. Used the tighter razor to get it faster, and I messed up there. It looked like another bald spot. So I tried to even that out once again, and it didn't work for a solid 5 minutes, so I kept going at that. And it was just a waste of time in the end, to be honest, because nothing changed. I did get it more even though, but it took way longer than it should have. So I tried for the back now, the thing that was super uneven that I was telling you about, and that was going alright. I kind of got it even over there, but then this is where I made my first mistake. I went with a lower raising setting to try and fade it in like a professional barber, and come on, I'm a child. Like, what am I doing? I just gave up in the end. I abandoned it because I knew it wasn't going to work, so I just kind of used the tightest setting you could get and went back to work, getting rid of the attempted fade, but yeah, obviously that didn't work. So now we were approaching the end. I had most of it done. It was looking pretty fresh, to be honest. Not messing with you, it was terrible. But it was the best I could do for cutting it all myself, which is pretty decent, I'd say, for someone who's cutting it himself. So I just had to do the final touches on evening it out, and here's where I made a mistake. I was trying to make it perfect, which was too far, and I went up too high, and then when I smoothed it out with my hand, I really saw what I did to myself. Once again, another bald spot that was not even, so I spent another 5 minutes trying to fix that, and it wasn't easy, I'll tell you. It was harder than the other one because it was on my left side with my left hand. So I had to figure this one out because I didn't want to end it on that. So I just kept trying. I was doing my thing, you know, it was going alright. It wasn't. Look at that. Oh my god. Even worse than what I started with. My hair had really gotten long, so that's kind of what you get from it. And when you try to cut it yourself. So I actually figured out a way to put it back into place. So we're almost done now. We had most of the cut done, we had most of the fade done. I'm just playing with you. Who do you think I am? A Turkish barber, man? I can't do no fade. But yeah, I finished it off there, and I took off the guard to make it as tight as possible, the cut on my neck, because there were neck hairs, there was just little hairs left, and I wanted it to be a proper skin fade without a fade. So I needed to get rid of all hair so it would blend into my neck and my face, so it would look like there's nothing on the sides. So that's why I used a tighter setting. Brought back the cap strategy, because that was kind of working at the start, and it did work for when I tried to use this strategy. And I actually honestly look better with the cap on than without it, because it's not even. But I tried to even it out with the really tight razor, and that was going good. I even flipped the razor over so I could get some odd hairs out, and that worked really well, surprisingly. So that's the end of my haircut.
And done.
So this is what I started off as, and this is what I finished as. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.